Hey guys, this is Dinosaur Drawer, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to draw the baby Rex from Jurassic Park 2, which is basically a baby T-Rex that you see in one of the Jurassic Park movies. So this is also, again, a Jurassic Park drawing, and let's get it set up properly. And so yeah, basically, I think this is another Crash McCreary artwork that I'm using as reference, but I'm not sure about it. This video was actually requested by someone. I'm sorry. It was requested by Jurassic Allen, and I'm gonna try to make it as accurate as I can. So he has a very long and slender body. So we're gonna start his shoulder around over here. Well, maybe a little bit higher actually, because he has very long, slender legs, and then his body will be about something like this, and that will be his belly. And so his proportions compared to a normal kind of T-Rex are really strange. He has very strange proportions. I think it's one of the weirdest looking dinosaurs that I have ever seen in the whole Jurassic Park franchise. His tail goes like this, up and then down again. Very strangely shaped tail. Very long and slender as well. And the tip of his tail isn't pointy at all. Maybe this could be a little bit more slender like this, and this could be a little bit more like this. Alright, so now we should move on to his leg, and his leg goes kind of like this, a very weird angle as well, very big leg muscles, and then his knee will be about over here, and then his leg goes kind of like this in an angle, a very long shin, and then over here will be his foot. Yeah, this is a really strange kind of dinosaur with a lot of strange proportions. For example, this is very slender and long. And kind of did this a little bit wrong, because this is supposed to be a little bit more like a bump. And then one toe goes like this. And then the other one goes like this. So that's one foot maybe this should be a little bit more like this, a little bit thinner. Yeah, I think this could be a little bit thinner, his leg. Something like this. Really strange proportions, I must say. And then the other leg actually goes like this. You can see part of his ankle over here, and then you can see the other leg kind of going like this. And then you can see his knee somewhere over here. Yeah, it's really strange how this dinosaur looks. I really have to play around with this sketch a little bit. But I guess this works. Alright. And now we're gonna move on to his first kind of arm that you see. Which actually starts around here. Here is his shoulder, and there's a bump for one of his muscles, and compared to the rest of his body, his arms actually are quite large in comparison with the normal T-Rex kind of proportions. Like I said, the proportions are really strange looking in this dinosaur. Alright. So then we have one over there, and we have one over here, which is a little bit more angled inwards. And then we have a lot of actual wrinkles going on over here, and also a couple of muscles and stuff going on there. And this one you can't really see too well because it's behind the other one. Alright, and this could be a little bit more like this. Alright, so that's one of his little arms done. well, I can't call them little actually. And let's take a closer look at his leg again, because I don't believe this is really what I want his leg to look like. The proportions are way off, so I'm going to erase this leg and try to redo it. This time I want to do it as accurate as I can get, because it doesn't seem accurate at all, it just seems stupid. Alright, so again we have a bump over here, and then it goes like this, and over here will be his ankle. Very long part going down, and then here is where his foot will be. And then this part goes like this. And then we have a part that goes like this. And over here his ankle. Which has a very strange shape. And then this part goes something like that. Maybe it's still a little bit strange. But I think it's just a tiny bit better than what it used to be. And this should be a little bit more muscle over there. Alright, that's a lot better. And then we can move on to the other arm that we can see. And this arm actually goes kind of like this, and at the same height as this part. You have his elbow over here, but you can't really see his elbow. Let's make it a little bit closer to the other one, like this. And then over here is where the rest of his arm actually starts. And then we have one claw that goes like this, and another one that goes like that. Alright, then just do the same thing over here again. And now let's get a little bit more detail into the other leg actually. shaped kind of a bit differently. And then there's one nail over there. And then a lot of bumps going on there as well. And then you can see part of his middle toe over here, which actually goes like this. And then his toe is attached to it, his toenail. Like that. Maybe a little bit more pointy. And then the last one is also over there. And you can actually see it actually being attached to the rest of his foot. And this nail also goes like this, kind of a bit more angled up. This might be a little bit thinner, just a tiny little bit. And then you have those really cool kind of bird legs. Actually, this is a little bit too high actually. I should make this a little bit shorter. Maybe a little bit shorter, a little bit more. Alright, so we're not gonna touch that too much anymore, otherwise it will just start to look strange and weird. Alright, so now it is time to go to his neck, and after that go to his head. So we might want to refine this a little bit so that his neck fits on it perfectly. Alright, so his neck is about this high, so we might want to mark that. Let's see, is that high enough? compared to the rest. I guess. Alright, and now his neck kind of is shaped like this. You need to have the right angle, by the way, so pay attention to what angle you are trying to get it in. And I hope I can still put his head on the page. So this is about the length of his neck, and then his neck on, his throat starts over here, and is actually kind of going all the way up to his little head. I might have actually made his neck a little bit too long. Yeah, his neck is a little bit too long. So I'm just going to erase it just for a little bit. That's why I mentioned that the angle is important. You need to have the right angle. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it down like this, and then just do something like this. And that is actually his neck, kind of. Alright, and now let's get his head in. And this is where it's gonna get a little bit hard, because we want to have his head perfect. We want to make this perfect, right? So what we're gonna start with is drawing something like this, and then just draw something like this, which is going to be the attachment to his lower jaw. This might be a little bit too large, so we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. And then his lower jaw would be over here, going like this. And then over here we have his kind of eye ridge, very pronounced. Goes kind of like this. Then we have his snout, which actually goes like this. And I know that his head is again a little bit too big. I have a tendency to make things a little bit too big. Alright. So that is kind of what his head is supposed to look like, but it's supposed to be a little bit smaller. So now we know what it looks like. We can make it a little smaller. Alright, so this is the part where the lower jaw kind of attaches to the neck. And then there's a part that goes like this, and then there's a part that goes kind of like this. And then over here we have this huge eye ridge. And then this very strange proportioned snout. But you can still kind of see that it's still a T-Rex. Something like that. So it's just a little bit smaller, but it still seems a little bit too big, but at least it's a little smaller. Yeah, it's a little bit too much, but I guess it will be alright. I'll make his tail a little bit longer and make it look a little bit heavier. That way I can maybe make it right. Yeah, alright, I believe it looks okay. Now we need to have those really T-Rex kind of facial features. So a ridge like this is really a must-have thing. It kind of gets really thin around here, and then goes kind of like this. This part could be a little bit more like this. And then his nose, which will be located right around here. And then of course one of the most important things is his eye, and this is really a very large eye, so I have to make this kind of eye socket a little bit huge, a little bit big, and then it kind of starts around here and it goes all the way until the other side of this hole. A huge eye he has, but that's kind of what makes it look like it's still a baby, I guess. Alright, it might look very strange right now, but I can assure you that it will look very cool when we're done. Alright, so we're at 30 minutes, and I'll be making a second part. So be sure to stay tuned, and yeah, it will come very soon. So if you like this video, leave a like, comment below what you think about this video, and of course don't forget to subscribe. So this was Dinosaur Drawer, and goodbye.